Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear student, Assalamu alaikum. It's me, Dr. Mansoor Khan, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, Kohat University of Science and Technology. The course which was assigned to me is Environmental Chemistry 2 with a course code Chem 362. And today I am going to deliver my 24th lecture, which is based on heavy metal pollutions. This slide shows the outlines of today's presentation, which will cover a brief introduction about heavy metals, their permissible level, their maximum permissible level, their allowed amount of in drinking water. We will discuss about different heavy metals, and finally extraction method which will be used for quantification and extraction of these heavy metals. So the first one is the permissible level. The maximum permissible level of heavy metal, for example mercury and lead, is given in the table according to Environmental Protection Agency and World Health Organization. According to Environmental Protection Agency, the maximum permissible level of mercury in drinking water is 0.005 ppm, while the concentration of lead which is allowed in the drinking water is 0.015 ppm. While according to the World Health Organization, the maximum permissible level of mercury in drinking water is 0.003, while the concentration of lead in the drinking water is 0.010. So these are the permissible level according to Environmental Protection Agency and World Health Organization. If the concentration of these heavy metals like mercury and lead exceed this permissible level, then they cause some severe health problems. It should be known that what are the heavy metals? Heavy metals are those metals which are toxic to the ecosystem, which include human beings and other aquatic organisms. So, and another important definition of heavy metals, that when their density is 5 times greater than the density of water, then we can say that these are referred to as heavy metals. But nowadays heavy metals are referred to as toxic metals. So if the concentration of the heavy metal exceed the permissible level mentioned by Environmental Protection Agency and World Health Organization, then it causes some severe health problems, which include kidney failure, liver damage, cancer, renal edema, high blood pressure, rapid respiration, dry cough, and dizziness. So these are the various kind of diseases caused by heavy metal when their concentration exceed their permissible level, their acceptable level as mentioned by Environmental Protection Agency and World Health Organization in drinking water. So this slide shows the various sources which are responsible for the discharge of these heavy metal, toxic metal into the environment or into the drinking water. It can be categorized into anthropogenic sources and natural sources. The anthropogenic sources is further divided into mining, different type of industries, and agriculture waste. So these are the anthropogenic sources. These are the man-made sources which are responsible for the discharge of heavy metal into the environment. While in natural sources include erosion and volcanic eruption. So if we want to avoid the exceed of concentration of heavy metal into the environment, into the water bodies, then we should decrease the use of mining, industrial and agriculture waste, which are the man-made sources, which are the anthropogenic sources. The natural sources we cannot control. Two important analytical detection systems like flame atomic absorption spectrometry and UV visible spectrophotometry were largely used for quantification of these heavy metal. But as we know that the concentration of these heavy metal is very low, therefore we are unable to quantify precisely and accurately by using these analytical detection system. Therefore, we need proper pre-concentration step prior to its quantification and extraction by using these analytical detection system. So, the different pre-concentration method which is used for the preparation of samples include solid phase extraction, co-precipitation and liquid-liquid extraction. These three methods of pre-concentrations are largely used for pre-concentration of the heavy metal to exceed its concentration in the sample so as to determine it precisely and accurately using analytical detection system. But we are mainly focusing on liquid-liquid extraction because liquid-liquid extraction has certain advantages over the other pre-concentration method. Like liquid-liquid extraction is environmental friendly, high pre-concentration factor can be achieved using liquid-liquid extraction, and liquid-liquid extraction is fast because there is no need of characterization, there is no need of special laboratory apparatus, and you can perform it in any chemistry laboratory. That's why we are focusing on liquid-liquid extraction as compared to solid phase extraction and co-precipitation method. A variety liquid-liquid extraction methods were used by the scientists for the pre-concentration of the heavy metal, which include dispersive liquid-liquid extraction, cloud point extraction, ionic liquid extraction, switchable polarity solvent based liquid extraction, supramolecular solvent based liquid extraction, and finally ultrasonic assisted emulsification extracted. These are the 6 commonly used liquid extraction method which were used for the pre-concentration of the heavy metal from the natural water bodies before its quantification so as to increase its concentration in the natural water sample to be that we can easily, precisely and accurately determine the concentration of the heavy metals. So the first one is switchable polarity based liquid extraction. Jessup and co-worker in 2005 first time developed switchable polarity solvent. Now, what is a switchable polarity solvent? The switchable polarity solvent defined as a system in which a non-ionic liquid converts to an ionic liquid, hydrophilic and completely miscible with water under the presence of carbon dioxide, and then reverts back to its non-ionic form, hydrophobic, and form a bio-basic mixture and when mixed with water. When the gas is purged from the solution, so for the following is the two form of switchable polarity solvent. One form is completely miscible with water, which is polar in nature, and the other one is immiscible with water, non-polar in nature. So we will synthesize the polar form of the solvent, which will be then back converted into its non-polar form, immiscible form of the water, in order to reduce the concentration, in order to reduce the number of organic solvent used in liquid-liquid extraction. These are some of the examples of switchable polarity solvents. The two forms are interconvertible with each other with addition or removal of carbon dioxide. There are some important applications of these switchable polarity solvents. Switchable polarity solvents were largely used for extraction of soybean oil, cleaning of solid particles, recovery of residual motor oil, and solid switchable polarity solvent based were largely used as a reaction medium. So that's why we have selected the switchable polarity solvent for extraction of heavy metals. Another type, so switchable polarity based liquid-liquid extraction method was first time used for uranium. As uranium is a heavy metal, it is the table which shows the maximum permissible level of uranium, which is also known as a noble metal. As we know that uranium is radioactive and it is also chemically dangerous for the ecosystem, but at the same time uranium has certain advantages because it can be used as a nuclear fuels for power plant generation. So the maximum permissible level according to Environmental Protection Agency and World Health Organization is given to be 0.03 and 0.04 ppm respectively. If the concentration of uranium exceed this permissible level, then they cause some severe health problems in the human beings. This is the whole schematic structure which is used in the laboratory for the extraction of uranium using switchable polarity solvents. So sample solution is prepared, which is then followed by the addition of triethylamine, which is completely miscible with water, which is polar in nature. Then a dish which is followed by 10 molar sodium hydroxide and phase formation takes place, which was then followed by centrifugation, and then the polar phase is separated by using syringe, and then the concentration of uranium along with a ligand PAN is determined by using UV visible spectrophotometric method. By using this method, the concentration of uranium can be increased 50 to 100 times as compared to its original concentration in the liquid. Another important metals whose concentration determination in water and other environmental sample is of immense importance. The metal is aluminum. The maximum concentration permissible level of aluminum in drinking water according to Environmental Protection Agency and World Health Organization is considered to be 0.2 to 0.25. If the concentration of aluminum exceeds this permissible level, then it causes severe health problems, like it causes damage in the central nervous system, it destroys the parathyroid gland, and it is also responsible for a disease known as Alzheimer. So these are very toxic effect of aluminum on human being when its concentration exceed mentioned by Environmental Protection Agency and World Health Organization as mentioned in the earlier slide. The supramolecular solvent-based liquid phase micro extraction includes supramolecular solvent system. The supramolecular solvent system include decanol plus tetrahydrofuran, undecanol tetrahydrofuran, decanoic acid plus tetrahydrofuran. This is the supramolecular solvent system which was used for the micro extraction of aluminum from the natural water bodies so as to determine it precisely and accurately using UV visible analytical detection system. The advantages of supramolecular solvent based micro extraction is because we will use a very small amount of supramolecular, because it form a claw-like structure over the heavy metal and form a complex with it which can be easily extracted from the polar phase. So that's why, because in liquid extraction the only problem related with liquid extraction is that toxic organic matter are discharged into the environment. So to avoid these phenomena, we use supramolecular solvent based liquid phase micro extraction in order to avoid the discharge of large amount of organic matter. Various ligands which form a complex with aluminum were used by the scientists, which include chromoazurol S, aerochrome cyanine S, 8-hydroxyquinoline, and pyrocatechol violet, but we will use 8-hydroxyquinoline. This slide shows the aluminum and 8-hydroxyquinoline complex. This is the structure. So 3-hydroxyquinoline molecules surround the aluminum molecule, which is hydrophobic in nature. When 8-hydroxyquinoline form complex with aluminum, then followed by the addition of supramolecular solvents, which then easily be extracted to the very small amount of supramolecular. So these are the characteristic of the complex. The complex need a pH of 9. Lambda max can be obtained at 380. Molar absorptivity is 1.8 into 10 raised to power 3 liquid mole per centimeter, where bare law can be applicable from 6.0 ppm to 2 to 2.3 ppm. This is the graphical structure of the head hydroxyquinoline. Maximum complex formation takes place at pH 9. So maintaining these characteristics, pH 9, maximum absorption of 380 nanometer, molar absorptivity of 1.8 into 10 raised to power 3 liquid mole per centimeter, and the Bayer's law can be obtained from 16.0 to 2 to 2.3 ppm. We can form a maximum complex which then can be quantitatively extracted by using supramolecular solvents, and which can be then precisely and quantitatively extracted by using supramolecular solvents. Thank you so much for your patience.